Hi everyone. Okay, hi everyone. Testing to see if everything's working. Can you guys hear me? Okay, everything seems to be working. Can you guys say something in the chat box so that I know the chat is working? I know the screen is working for you guys. Okay, for those who were like waiting around for Peggy, she was having some technical difficulties, so I'm covering her for today. Hi, Clinton. I'm just covering her for today. Hi, AJ. Yeah, so Peggy's Wi-Fi and connection was having some problems, so she asked one of us to cover her, and I'm available. So I'm only just available now. It's time change. Okay, yeah, the time changed because Peggy was having internet connection and I was just able to get to my computer and do this webinar. Okay, just take note guys, because I'm covering Peggy and this was a last minute thing, I'm not exactly very ready, so I'll show you guys how exactly I would do news trading as well. Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets Global. We're gonna do a news trading strategy session today. Okay, today's 23rd of September. It's 6 p.m. here in Singapore. Sorry, we were supposed to start half an hour ago, but again, Peggy was having some internet connection and some Wi-Fi issues. Like her computer just kept disconnecting. So she couldn't do the webinar for you guys. That's why we're a little delayed. Thanks for still waiting around though, guys. Okay, so let's start and then we will do this. What's going on? So sorry for Peggy. Yeah, no, she's fine. She's fine though. It's just a computer. Okay, so let's do the disclaimer. Disclaimer. You guys already know how this works. I'm assuming you guys are the regulars for Peggy's sessions. Can you guys let me know? I usually take Mondays. I do the live analysis session, and Peggy takes today. Today is the news session. Okay, so again, disclaimer for those who are regulars here, you guys already know how this works, but this is more for those who are new here today. Everything I share with you guys today should only be construed as educational. You should not take anything I say as financial advice, any form of investment advice, or any form of signal to get in for a buy or a sell. Okay, please don't do that. Okay, a risk warning: trading forex and CFDs carries significant risk. Okay, and you should only trade with money you can afford to lose. Okay, so trading may not be suitable for all investors, so please ensure you fully understand the risk involved and seek independent advice if necessary. Okay, I do want to get a sense of the room. Can you guys say hi to me and let me know if how long you guys have been trading for, if you guys are new here, if this is your first time, if you're here every week. What I know AJ is here all the time. Hey AJ, fancy seeing you here. So for those who are seeing me for the first time, I think Clinton, you should be seeing me for the first time. I usually do the Mondays webinar for IC Markets, where I do the live analysis session. Okay, I do the live analysis session where I go into charts and I do analysis for you guys. Okay, so today is news trading, which is fundamental analysis. Let's do that together. Okay, so let's introduce myself. Can you guys not be shy and talk to me in the chat box? Okay, my name is Cassandra. For those who don't know me, you can call me Cass. I am an investment analyst at Everest Fortune Group and a prop trader. So, Everest Fortune Group is a research firm. We do a lot of market research, a lot of back testing, a lot of forecasting, a lot of like we basically study the markets a lot. Okay, that's basically our day job. Our day job is to study the market. So if you are a doctor, your day job is to look at patients, look at sick people. My day job is literally to understand the charts, to test out strategies, to study and research the charts. Okay, other than that, Christopher here. Wonder where is Terence these days? Terence? Was there a Terence that I'm not sure about? But yeah, hi. I've seen you before, Christopher. You've joined my webinars before. Okay, so other than that, I am also a prop trader. So for those who don't know what prop trading is, it basically means that I'm a funded trader. So to become funded, I had to take a few tests and pass those tests. The test required me to do 10% profit within a month. That's when I took the test. I heard that recently the test has become way easier. You can apparently now there's no time limit. Okay, so I have consistently done 10% a month for multiple months. I've passed the test multiple times. Okay, 10% to me isn't that hard. It's also not very easy, but it's doable in my point of view because I usually aim to do 3% a week and then end the month at 12%. That is provided I get everything correct. If I don't get it correct, I still end about at like 6% profit within a month. So 10% to me is quite doable. And I'm going to show you guys how exactly I do it. But because of today's topic, which is news trading, I would have to follow as closely as possible. What is your average risk when taking trades? Okay, my average risk is 1%. I never go more than 1%. That's also because I'm managing a $300,000 account. Okay, so if I do more than 1%, honestly, psychologically, I wouldn't be able to take it. That will be too much pressure for me. So 1% on a $300,000 account is $3,000. If I risk 2%, that's 6,000. If I risk 3%, that's 9,000. Honestly, 6,000 and 9,000 per trade for me is like a crazy number. So, I mean, that's just my own psychological limitation, right? But anyways, 1%, I'm very happy and comfortable with that number, which is 3%, $3,000 for me. Okay, so agenda for today is key approaches, cheat sheet, checklist, and live chart. So this cheat sheet, again, I usually do the Mondays webinar where I do live analysis session where I use technical analysis to find out my get analysis. But because today I'm covering for Peggy and her specialty is fundamental analysis where she uses news. Okay, she uses news to trade. It's totally different from my style. My style is technical analysis. That's why this is my cheat sheet. Okay, so my cheat sheet would require uh, all this stuff where I look for trend line, channels, horizontal levels, chart patterns, dead crosses, if there's any natural moving averages, stochastics, RSI, correlations, and then reversals and breakouts. So today it's going to be a little different to what you guys are used to. I'm going to combine all of this with news trading. So I am someone who doesn't do a lot of news trading today, but when I do, this is exactly how I would do it. The reason why I don't do news trading is not because I cannot do news trading, it's because my lifestyle doesn't allow it. So news trading is when you go and I'm gonna pull out, okay? So how do you do news trading? You first go on an economic calendar. Just go on Google, type economic calendar, and then just pull out one economic calendar. Okay, so today is the 23rd of September. The news for today is S&P Flash. So there's PMI data later at 9:45 p.m. There's another data, PMI data at 9:45, 10 p.m. I don't think this one is that important. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Postic's speech. This is not Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech. This is important. Okay, so the important news for today is 1, 2, and 3, but it's later in the day at 9:45 a.m. This is usually following US timing, the New York Stock Exchange timing. So right now in Singapore, it is 6:19. So this news is only going to come out in like 3 hours. Okay, so this is exactly how I would do news trading. Take note, different traders would trade differently. Okay, so I'm just showing you guys my style of trading the news, combining it with technical analysis. And if you guys are used to Peggy's style, it's totally different from my style because trading is a totally individual and it's a very personal journey. My style of trading is profitable, but it doesn't mean it is suitable for someone else. Okay, so I'm going to be off the market later at 9:45 already, so I won't be able to catch this news. So my take is to not trade this tonight. So I'm not going to trade this tonight. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to trade based on information that has already been released. Okay, based on information that's already been released, because this information is only coming out in 3 hours and we won't be here. This webinar would have ended when that information. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, number one, is decide what charts we want to trade. Okay, what we want to trade. We need to decide that first before we can decide on the news we're going to go look at. Okay, everyone following so far? Everything good? Okay, so can you guys let me know in the chat box if there's a particular pair you want to look at? I already know one that I really want to look at, which is EUR/USD. I really want to look at this. Okay, so EUR/USD, whenever you guys are choosing, choose IC markets because news on prop firm is hurtful to trade too much slippage. Exactly. So anyways, that's also another reason why I don't really trade news, but if I were to trade news, this is exactly how I would do it. Okay, so IC markets, choose IC markets because you guys are using IC markets, so you want the charts to be the same price as whatever you guys are using. Okay, so let's start with the daily. Anything else? Do you guys have any charts you want me to look at? Nobody? Nobody have any requests? Okay, let's do EUR USD and GBP USD maybe. And maybe let me see, gold and one cryptocurrency. One cryptocurrency, provided we have time. Okay, I cannot promise I can even touch all of this. And one non-USD pair because BP USD, sorry, one GBP JPY. Okay, so I've got, okay, I'm gonna get rid of USD CAD. Duplicate. I've got 3 forex pairs. 2 is USD related, AUD. I'm just pulling it out, but I cannot promise I can cover it because of time constraint. Okay, so 3 is USD related and 1 is GBP JPY, so it's a non-USD pair. And then we've got gold and then Ethereum. So maybe we're not going to look at gold and Ethereum. I'll just focus on this 4 first because of the time crunch, and then we'll look at this 2 later. Okay, so I will show you exactly how I would trade. Okay, my style, I don't know how Peggy does it. You guys are the one who attends Peggy's. Hi, Sibeko. You guys attend Peggy's webinar every week. Let me know how she does it. But I usually do it this way. I would combine news. Oh, sorry. This is not my charts. This is okay. Sorry. Sorry, I need to pull out everything again because those are not my charts. Okay, so EUR/USD. Oh, look at this. It's working so nicely. If you guys were on my Monday's webinar, you guys we would have saw this together. It's just that I expected it to pull back, right? When we did the webinar on Monday, price was here. Yeah. Okay, anyways, AUD, USD, I'm just following you guys, the requests you guys have listed out. USD, CAD, and then one non-USD pair. Okay, so for the purpose of today's topic, which is news trading strategy, I'm going to show you guys how to news trade. GBP, JPY. So you need to decide what you're going to trade first. So here we have EUR USD, AUD USD, USD CAD, and GBP JPY. So now, based on today's topic, which is news trading strategy, we need to go and collect information on these currency pairs. How do I do that? I basically just go on Google. Let me see if I can use ChatGPT. Just give me a moment. I'm being very transparent with you guys right now. Okay, I'm being super transparent with you guys. Okay, I'm gonna use my own personal ChatGPT. Okay, give me accurate economic data on USD right now, like up to date, up to right now. Okay, so this is how I would usually collect information on the pair that I am collecting. Look, we are trading US dollars, EUR, AUD, CAD, and these two. So if you're trading this, there's no point of you getting information on other currency pairs. So there's no point of you looking at the Chinese yen. There's no point of you looking at the New Zealand dollars. Okay, there's no point. You just need to collect information on the things that you are actually trading. Okay, so this is my personal ChatGPT, by the way. This is exactly. Give me accurate economic data on USD up to right now. Okay, so then ChatGPT will tell me. Okay, so it's basically, let's just read this together. Okay, so interest rate, value, Fed cut, blah, 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 unemployment rate 4.3, slightly elevated earlier periods, GDP growth plus, this is a good thing, this is a positive thing. Okay, consumer spending up modestly, so this is also a good thing. It looks like so far USD is pretty it's giving good signs. Trade and deficit good and narrowing, leading indicators showing signs of weakening and slowing. Okay, so interpretation. Despite inflation coming down somewhat, it remains above Fed's 2% target. Hence, rate cuts are being made cautiously. Unemployment rising modestly and job market softening in some areas, suggesting weakening labor demand. This could further pressure the growth GDP. Okay, so if you don't know what it's saying, basically just explain to me in detail if USD is showing weakness or strength. Just use ChatGPT, guys. There's AI exists. You guys don't have to you guys don't have to go and do the research. Just let AI do the work for you. Oh my gosh, this is taking a while. I'm so sorry. Okay, in the meantime, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that while it decides. Okay, let me do the analysis on a technical analysis point of view. Is it done? Nope. It's still researching because I paid for ChatGPT, so it does deep analysis for me. It usually does deep analysis and then we can get whatever information it's going to give. Okay, let's just do the technical analysis point of view first. So the first thing I want to do is decide whether price is going up or down. So let's look at the weekly. We can see price is going up. No confusion here. Price is doing higher highs, higher lows. Okay, no confusion here. The daily, same. Price is making higher highs, higher lows. Structurally very nice. The 4 hours, price is doing higher highs, higher lows. Okay, so no confusion here. Now we pull out the trend line to just mark out our very nice trend line. For a trend line to be valid, you need 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Sorry, you need 3 touches minimally, but there's 4 here. Sorry, trying to see, still not working. Okay, so it's okay, guys, if my ChatGPT doesn't come up with this, then we need to manually go and search for the information, okay? We need to manually go and search for the information by reading the news and going to reliable sources and basically understanding what's happening. Okay, I was hoping ChatGPT gives me the answer, but it's not working. It's not working. If anyone in attendance here has ChatGPT, you guys can give me the answer too. Okay, so anyways, I'm going back to this. Okay, so I've got my trend line. I now want to identify support and resistance. So because price is going up, I want to get in for a buy. Okay, price is moving on an uptrend. I want to get in for a buy because I am a trend trader. If price is going up, I want to get in for a buy. If price is going down, I want to get in for a sell. Okay, so then I know I want to get in for a buy. Where do I get in for a buy? So now I need to narrow down where the buy entry is going to be. Gonna get out my horizontal levels. Gonna highlight the closest swing high, swing low, what that price is at, and where I can get in for that buy or sell. Okay, there's one here that, okay, so I think price is going to pull back somewhere along this line. Let me just highlight this red, highlight this in red. Okay, so what, yes, I'm using ChatGPT. If you guys can get me the information, that'll be great too, because mine is still loading. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Just give me the summary. Medium term weakness, near term slightly bid on position headlines driven squeezing. So there is a bit of weakness, okay? There is a bit of weakness, so I'm just going to keep that fundamental analysis. Okay, so this is how I would do news trading, my news trading strategy. I will combine technical analysis and fundamental analysis together. Okay, so right now, I think price is going to pull back to this green box, but more specifically, somewhere within this red. Okay, somewhere within this red will be the best entry. Okay, so right now I know I want to get in for a buy. My buy is going to be somewhere within this green box. I don't know where in this green box. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here, it could be here, it could be here. Okay, so based on technical analysis, because there is this trend line happening here, right? You guys see this trend line, right? It's more likely that price is going to stay within this trend line, because especially since it respected this trend line 1, 2, 3, 4, if it comes back the 5th time, it should respect this trend line the 5th time. So I expect price to reverse somewhere within this green box, but most likely somewhere closer to the trend line and somewhere closer to this red box, which is in this green box. Why did I choose this area? Because this is the place where price came 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You know what? Let me make it higher. Okay, there you go. 4 times, 5 times, and then it reversed. Okay, so price came here 5 times and respected that area. So I expect if price were to come here the 6th time, okay, I expect price to come here the 6 times, and then we can get in for a buy. I mean, I can get in for a buy, guys. I can get in for a buy. Okay, on top of that, we've already done the news trading site, which is the news trading site is to basically go on the economic calendar, see when news is coming. We can't catch news because by the time news comes out today, this webinar would have ended. So I'm only going to use information that is already out. Okay, I'm going to use information that's already out. How do you collect information? You can go on Google and manually go and collect USD. Just type USD and then all the information on the US dollars will come out and then you will go and slowly read that. I don't want to do that. That's why I use AI. I use ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to summarize the news for me. Okay, but basically this is what it's saying. Medium term, broader, weaker in H1, blah, 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 blah. It's just basically saying there's weakness in the US dollars. Okay, so that is aligning with our technical analysis. Where is my chart? Okay, it's confirming. Okay, so right now we are doing the EUR against the USD, right? So we want the USD to go down and we want the EUR to go up, right? They can't both go in the same direction. They need to go opposite direction. For the EUR USD to go up, the US dollar needs to go down. So news is already showing that there is weakness in the USD. So this is a good sign. We are on the right track. I am very biased. Very, very, very biased for bullishness. Okay, I'm very biased that price of EUR USD is going to keep moving up. Why? Because number one, there is a trend, uptrend, both on the weekly, both on the daily and on the 4 hours. Okay, so everything is showing up on. Okay, so this is, you're basically just collecting data. Okay, you're just collecting data. On top of that, I don't see price really reaching any like swing highs or swing lows. The next swing high is here. Okay, the next swing high, the next zone that we want to take note of is here. So price is really far from there. Even if we're talking about this one, price is still kind of far from there and there's still a lot of movement to be made. So there's still a lot of upwards movement before price reaches a resistance on the weekly. And even on the daily, there's no resistance. So I'm really biased that price is going to keep moving up. I could be wrong. Okay, so now that I know price is going to move up, news is telling me that there is weakness in the USD. Everything is telling me it's up. I want to get in for a buy. Where do I get in? I'm going to get in somewhere within this green box, more likely closer to this red box here. So I'm just going to put my buy entry somewhere here. And more likely it needs to respect, it should be respecting this trend line. Okay, it should respect this trend line. So I expect the entry to be somewhere along this line. It can't be here, right? Because if it's here, then it's way below the trend line unless we get wicked in, unless I get wicked in. So my entry is going to be somewhere here. Okay, my take profit is going to be here at the swing high, but maybe lower. I don't want to aim for the highest high. And then my stop loss. Okay, this is going to be a tricky one. Okay, where do I put my stop loss? I can put it here right below this entire green box. Okay, I can put it right below this entire green box, but the risk to reward would not be the greatest. Okay, so it will be something like this. It'll be a 1 to 2.5, okay, which is the minimum that I would usually go. Okay, that's the minimum that I usually go. If you guys know and have been following my live analysis session, you know that I only take 1 to 2.5 trades minimally. That means if you have a $100,000 account, you are risking $1,000 to make $2,500. Okay, that's the minimum I can go. I can go higher. I can go 4%, 5%, 6%, whatever it is, but I cannot go lower than 2.5 because then the risk to reward doesn't make sense to me and I wouldn't get into this trade. Okay, so right now what I want price to do, I'm expecting price to do, is to pull back and then continue up from here. Okay, it's somewhere within this box. It's not exactly in this box, but it could be slightly lower. Even if it's slightly lower, it would still respect the trend line because technically you can kind of play with the trend line a bit. Even if it's here, it would still respect because as long as there's 3 touches, right? So then there's still 1 touch here, 2 touch here, and 3 touch here. Okay, so as long as there's 3 touches, that's kind of still a valid trend line. So this entry can be anywhere from here to here to here, as long as, yeah, basically try to aim as low as possible. I'm going to put a healthy part and aim here. Okay, I'm going to aim here. And then this is what I think is going to happen. On top of that, what I want to see is Fibonacci levels. Okay. Okay, so somewhere within here, I think that's what is going to happen. Okay, I'm gonna delete everything because I don't like it when my charts are messy. I don't like it. It's confusing me. It confuses me when the charts are messy. I'm going to leave this red box though. I'm going to leave this red box here to show that this is the ideal entry area. Okay, my stop loss is going to be right below this box. Right below this box. Okay, nice and tight. So it becomes 1 to 4. If you give it more breathing space, it will still be 1 to 3.5. That's still a really good risk to reward, guys. Okay, so again, I have my reasons why I'm getting in for a buy. Uptrend, multi-time frame, buy. Okay, fundamental analysis. Let's pull out some indicators. We already pulled out the Ichimoku just now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think price is gonna pull back. I don't know. I hope it pulls back. If it pulls back, that'll be great. But if it doesn't pull back, I totally understand because price is at the cloud now. So can you guys see this cloud? Do you see this cloud here? This is a form of support and resistance. Okay, so for price to come back to our entry, it needs to break the cloud. It needs to break this cloud before it can reach. So the cloud is kind of a resistance area. If it can break the cloud and get here, that will be good. If it doesn't, I totally understand that price will just continue going up. So wishfully, I hope price pulls back. If not, it totally makes sense. Okay, let me pull out RSI and stochastics and the natural moving average, SME, sorry, moving average, simple moving average. Okay, simple moving average, I'm gonna change the settings to 100. Why? Because I just did analysis for this, guys. I just did this. Okay, so if you guys follow me on Mondays, you know that on my cheat sheet, it shows that the moving average should be either 50 or 100. Okay, but just that 50 is not working very well on this chart. So you can see price kind of like cutting through here and then respecting and then cutting through here again one more time. So 50 is not working very well on this chart. So we don't use a setting that doesn't work well. Okay, if I pull out 200, it's the same. Okay, if I pull out 200, it's the same. The 200 moving average is right here, but price is here. It's very far from where price is. So we're not going to use things that doesn't make sense. Okay, we're not going to use stuff that doesn't make sense. But if we change the settings, you can... What did I do? Oh my gosh, guys, how do I get rid of this? Okay, there you go. If I change the settings, if I adjust the settings, if I toggle with the settings, okay, let's try 90. Okay, 90 is not really perfect because you can see price cutting through it a bit. Okay, let me try 100. That's how you use a natural moving average. A natural moving average is when you go to the settings and you kind of tweak it a little. You toggle with the settings on your own to get it to fit the charts. So you can see here, price came here one time, rejected that moving average, came here a second time, rejected. So if price were to come here a third time and the moving average was here, I expect it to respect it the third time. So I'm going to use the moving average as a reference in this example. And then we're going to pull out stochastics and RSI. Okay, so this is RSI. How do I use RSI in this event? I'm going to use support and resistance. So this is a support, right? Support. You guys see that this is a support? You can see when price came here on the charts, it reversed. Same. On RSI, when price came here, it reversed. Price came here, it reversed. Same. When it came here on RSI, it reversed. Okay, somewhere around here. Okay, only here it didn't respect RSI. RSI didn't work very well here, and that's okay because here it respected as well. Okay, I'm gonna adjust this to here. Okay, you can see price reversing here, and then it reversed here as well. So RSI is working very well for this chart. So therefore, I'm going to keep RSI for this analysis because it's working well. Take note, if I pull out RSI on another chart, if I pull it out on XAU USD, I pull it out on AUD USD, I pull it out on USD CAD, it doesn't mean that it's going to work. I just know that right now on EUR USD it's working well, therefore I'm going to use it. If the indicator is not working well for that chart, do not force it to work. Okay, do not force it to work. Okay, so, oh, sorry. How do I, okay. Okay, that's RSI. RSI is working well. Let's see if stochastics is working well. Highlighting the support. Okay, for stochastics, it was moving in a zone rather than one fixed line. Okay, so you guys can see when price came here, it reversed. Same, it came here, it reversed. Came here, reversed. Came here, reversed. It's the same. It's like a line horizontally. I'm sorry, vertically. See? If I just pull out, everything is aligned vertically. Okay, came here, it reversed. Came here and it reversed. Okay, because I have to move, sorry, I keep moving this trend line. This is the better way to draw the trend line, by the way, because this is what is respecting. So both stochastics and RSI is giving the same information. Once price comes to this green box, it has a tendency to reverse. Same with RSI. Once price comes to this green dotted line, it has a tendency to reverse. Okay, so if price were to pull back, if price were to pull back, right? If price were to pull back and then so nice on the stochastics, it pulls back as well, I'll be very, very confident to get in for a buy here. Okay, I will be very confident to get in for a buy here and here if it aligns with stochastics and RSI, and it aligns with that moving average, and it aligns with this green box, and everything is aligned. This will be a super, super high probability setup with a super good risk to reward. Okay, so far so good. Sorry, I want to keep as closely as possible to today's topic. So let's go. Now give me info on EUR. Okay, so okay, so overall, EUR is showing moderate strength and solid performance against the US dollar. So I'm happy fundamental analysis is showing it's and EUR is strengthening. High probability setup. Okay, any questions so far? Everyone okay with my style of analysis? Anyone has any questions of how I'm analyzing EUR USD for the purpose of today's topic, which is news trading strategy? Everyone good? Now the only hope is to wait for price to pull back and then get in here. For me, okay? For me. This is not for you guys. This is not a signals group. Okay, if everyone is good, I'm gonna move on to the next one, which is AUD USD. So again, AUD USD, we're gonna delete everything and redo the analysis and write down the data we've collected. Okay, so fundamental analysis, Okay, now let's get some fundamental. Let's get some data on AUD. Strengths of AUD right now: improving inflation situation. Inflation is more under control, much closer to target. AUD key levels. More strength than weakness. Okay, so that's all we need to know. That's all we need to know, that there's more strength than weakness. Okay, so let's see what AUD is showing us. Okay, this is why I cannot get into for a buy for AUD. Do you see how there's conflicting information? If I look at the weekly charts, AUD USD is on a downtrend. Okay, AUD USD is on a downtrend. So it's making lower highs, it's making lower lows. Okay, so if we put this into context, we need to put into. Okay, so for those who followed me on, joined my webinar on Monday, I obviously did not reference the weekly. Today I'm referencing the weekly and I'm seeing this, so this is important information. Now that I see this, it makes me question my entire analysis on Monday. So on Monday, I was calling for a buy for AUD, but obviously because I didn't see this on the weekly. On the weekly, you can see that price is nicely moving on a downtrend. Okay, let's see the daily. But the daily, it's moving on an uptrend. Conflicting information. This is so conflicting. Okay, guys, I cannot do the analysis for this because it's giving conflicting information. So if the US dollars is weakening and the AUD is strengthening, we are expecting for a buy, right? Based on fundamental analysis. Based on news, this strength is fragile. Mild strength. Okay, so based on news, we should be getting in for a buy. But now that I see the weekly, based on technical analysis, it's clearly a sell, right? It is clearly moving on a downtrend. So I cannot get in on this because why? Fundamental analysis. Hi, Jamilu. Fundamental analysis is showing different information than technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is asking us to get in for a buy. Technical analysis is asking us to get in for a sell. Okay, therefore it's conflicting information. I'm gonna stay out of this. I can still do the analysis based on technical analysis, and then, you know, I mean, based on technical analysis, this is a really good sell. This is looking like a really good sell. Yeah. In fact, that looks like a trend line breakout. That looks, this, I would actually consider getting in a sell. This is why, guys, I am not a news trader, because the news will tell you one thing and technical analysis will tell you a different thing. So I am a technical analysis trader, but again, for those who were here from the beginning, I'm covering Peggy because her Wi-Fi has problems and her computer kept disconnecting, so I'm just covering her. But now that I'm doing this, it's very clear to me why I would not get into this AUD trade. Okay, so if I have to come up with an analysis, I'm gonna still come up with something. guys. I think this is a very clean cell. It's looking like a very structurally don't love it. I don't love it at all. Okay, give me a moment. I'm just trying to see if I can. Okay. Give me a moment, guys. I can't find a zoom. I'm sorry. I cannot. It's not clean. Things are not clear. Okay, my bias for AUD, USD on a fundamental news point of view is buy. On a TA point of view, technical analysis point of view, it's a sell. Okay, why? Because we are reaching a very strong point on the weekly charts. You guys know that structurally the weekly is very strong. So if weekly is showing sell, I really want to consider getting on a sell. Okay, and also furthermore, we're already seeing signs of a reversal. There's already this breakout happening here. There's already a trend line breakout happening here. Let me pull out like Ichimoku. There's already uncertainty happening here. You can see this part. You see how the cloud is just going sideways now because it's also uncertain. Okay, yeah, I don't want to trade this. Okay, let's move on to another one. Good, looks weaker than EUR/USD, perhaps not go long here. Yeah, I definitely do not want to go long for EUR/USD. Okay, let's see what Canadian dollars is saying. Okay, give me the information. Let's see what Canadian dollars is saying. Guys, by the way, if you don't use AI, you don't use ChatGPT, you are going to have to manually go and look for the news yourself because today's topic is news trading strategy. So you're going to have to manually go look for the news, USD news, and then you manually go in and read the news yourself from reliable sources, by the way. I would say Yahoo Finance News is reliable. I would say, I guess CoinDesk is reliable. Okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste such time. That's why I'm using ChatGPT to do it. Okay. Can you use TradingView news? You can, but you need to decipher it yourself. So I'll give you an example. If you use the news on TradingView, I can't remember where is it. This is the economic data, by the way. I mean economic calendar, where you guys can see when news is coming out. Then this is what the news came out. You need to decipher it yourself. Okay, so sometimes I'm not very good at interpreting the news. That's why I also use ChatGPT because I feel like ChatGPT would interpret it in a way that makes sense to me rather than me trying to decipher what it means on its own. But yes, you can use TradingView news. But hi, UK gamer. UK gamer. Okay, by the way, guys, to be very, very clear, I usually don't trade so much with news. Again, I'm just covering Peggy for today. So to stick as closely as today's topic, because this is what IC Market hired us to do. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to stick as closely to the news. So basically, I'm just using ChatGPT to go and collect data information on the currency pair and to see what it's saying. Okay, so US dollars is weak, but Canadian dollars is weaker. Okay, that's what I'm understanding. Canadian drifts lower versus the US dollar. Okay, Canadian dollars, the US dollar is weak, but the Canadian dollars is weaker. That's what I'm understanding. Okay, so let's see. Where's the Canadian dollars? Don't like. Let's start with the weekly. I mean, on the technical analysis point of view, it's moving in an uptrend. It is moving an uptrend unless this was a trend line breakout. But a lot of times it's a fake out. A lot of times it's actually just a fake out. Okay, or if anything, it has been going sideways. It has been going sideways since 2016. So since 2016, the Canadian dollars has just been moving from here to here to here to here to here. It's just recently hit that high, and now it's probably wanting to move down. Okay, probably wanting to move down. So based on what ChatGPT was telling us, and based on what I'm seeing on a very long term, the Canadian dollars against the US dollars is just going sideways. On this little point of view here, it's moving up, but you can see it hitting the high and then reversing already. So if I had to give a bias on this, I think it's just doing a pullback. Okay, I think it's doing a pullback. Let's see what the smaller time frames are saying. Very clean head and shoulder here. Break of neckline and then continuation. Do you guys see that? And then, oh my gosh, this is a textbook sell. This is like a textbook sell here. On top of that, it was aligning with the trend line. Okay. Too bad we weren't looking at USD Canada, USD CAD. Oh, this is in January, so that's fine. Okay, a bit biased of USD CAD being bearish. Okay, there is signs of bearishness here on the daily. 1 touch, 2 touches, 3 touches. And 1, 2, 3, kind of moving in a triangle actually. Okay. Canadian dollars, the USD CAD is not really giving a very clear trend. It is more like it's ranging almost. Okay, it's ranging. So if I had to come up with an analysis, I would say sell here. Don't buy here though. Or maybe you can consider buying here. This is okay, this is a question mark. It doesn't matter because price is not there yet. Okay, if I had to come up with something, this is a low probability setup, by the way. I am not getting in on this setup. Okay, if price were to pull back here, it's a no-brainer thing to get in for a sell because number one, it's moving within this range, right? Can you see it moving within this range? It's just going sideways. So if it's going sideways, it's expected to keep going sideways, right? If it has been going sideways since the 30th of July, there is no reason for us to think that it's not going to continue going sideways unless there are signs to tell us that it's going to move. On top of that, it's moving in this triangle. So I think this is a good sell zone, and then you can sell it back to here. That's it. That's all I have for USD CAD. That's all I have for you guys today. Yep, I'm going to see you guys on Monday. Again, just covering for Peggy today. So I won't see you guys next Tuesday. This news trading is for her. She is the specialist for fundamental analysis. I am just covering her. I am more of a technical analysis expert. Therefore, I do the Monday's webinar. Okay, but if I have to come up with something, just a very, this is not a high probability setup, by the way. And this is also not something I would get on because I don't trade the sideways market. But if I really had to come up with something, this would be it. I mean, price is going sideways, right? Just keep playing the sideways market. And this is a 1 to 2, I think. It looks like a 1 to 2. Yep, it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward trade. I mean, could be better if you tighten the stop loss a little. 1 to 2.5 risk to reward trade. If I pull out, okay, the only thing that's going to work now is RSI and stochastics. First thing I want to see if there's divergence. Don't really see divergence, right? Because price is moving on a downtrend, and on stochastics, RSI is also moving on a downtrend. So there's nothing showing me no divergence. If you guys see a divergence, let me know in the group chat. So what I'm going to use divergence and I'm going to use RSI and stochastics for is looking for horizontal levels. No horizontal levels. Even stochastics and RSI is not giving me good information. Let me try. Nope, guys. Nope. Okay. RSI is not giving me anything. Stochastics not giving me anything. If I pull out Ichimoku, it's definitely not going to give me anything, but I'm just trying. Oh, actually it is giving me something. Okay, this cloud is working as a support. Okay. Do you know the cloud for Ichimoku is actually a form of support? So yeah, it's giving me that my take profit zone is okay. Maybe I can move my take profit a bit higher, but yeah. The entry is still the same. Nothing's not really giving me any accurate information. Okay, so just off a very super low probability. Okay, why do I say it's low probability? Because I can't find information to support my analysis. Hi Hudson, we've already done that. Well, I'm looking for a buy, but again, not a signals group. So please, if you want to know how I got this set up, you need to rewatch this live once I'm done. You can just rewatch. We did this in the beginning. Okay, USD CAD. I mean, fundamental analysis is showing sell. Okay, so why is it a low setup probability? Because I can't find supporting information. Okay, the only reason this is a low probability because when I pull out RSI, when I pull out stochastics, when I pull out Ichimoku, when I pull out support resistance, when I pull out a lot of things, it's not giving me information. The only information I can find right now is that price is definitely moving in a triangle and price is doing this sideways thing. Okay, it's moving sideways. Okay, so that's the only thing that I can find. Gold, let me see. Gold is definitely a buy. It does not want to turn back. I cannot give you an analysis on gold because it is moving upwards. So you guys know that price is constantly moving in a zigzag, right? Even when it's moving in a zigzag, it's very shallow. Okay, so even if I come out with an analysis, I first need to find the swing high, but price is currently moving. I need the swing high. I can't come up with an analysis and it's a swing high, but I'm definitely biased for gold being a buy. Gold is definitely going up. I just would not be able to pinpoint the entry. But if I really had to come up with something that I think is going to happen, probably this last overlap here, this support, sorry, this resistance and price broke out, maybe price might come back and retest this area. That's the only thing I can give you for gold, because gold is structurally is not giving me enough information to come up with anything. Okay, so that's all I have for today. My only high probability setup is EUR/USD. Structurally, it's so clean. I love it. I just hope that it can pull back here. Okay, USD CAD, not the best. XAU USD, I can't give you the next target. I cannot give you the next target yet, sorry, because structurally I need it to end. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys for today. Take care. See you guys next Monday for those who are joining my Monday one. Same time as the Tuesday one. It's 5:30 p.m. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.